Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and have kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitancy in your weight loss and maintenance. Today we're going to talk about the importance of gratitude vis-a-vis weight loss and maintenance, even if you haven't lost it. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, Naturopathic Earth, or 100 pounds off for 30 years.com. There's a link in the episode notes. I have 600 articles and recipes there that might be useful. Check out my podcast, The Awakened Man. And lastly, if you appreciate my content, there is a link for PayPal. Now again, a lot of these videos, I don't know where you're at in terms of your weight loss journey or even if you've begun it. So sometimes I have to do episodes that are just kind of general. And like the episode I just did recently on Weight Watchers, there's some episodes that are almost evergreen, like you should watch out for Weight Watchers and how they manipulate people. But in this one, I think gratitude's important because gratitude is something that we should not only think about on Thanksgiving Day. That's when the government has designated that day for us to give thanks. But really, we should be grateful every day. We know that the Bible is pretty clear about giving gratitude and praise to God for the blessings that we have. And I understand completely. And I talk about this, and I think it was in Confessions of an Obese Child, number 19, about my suicidal attempts. But you can be in such a bad place where you can't see any positive in your life. And people could tell you, look, you have a roof over your head. You can breathe. You can maybe walk without pain. You're not a drug addict, whatever it is, like the most basic things. But lots of times we can't see that because we're so mired in the me. And that's not to say that's not legitimate. But like they tell children who kind of grow up in rich neighborhoods, to make the kids less narcissistic, maybe take them to a food kitchen, maybe take them to a poor area, take them to a poor public school, so they can get perspective on what they have, because it's hard for them to have perspective. If they live in a wealthy neighborhood and all their friends are the same wealth level, socioeconomic level, and so then it becomes more of that affluenza that you hear about. Whereas if you dump them on the south side of some town, because for some reason the south side of every major city is a bad part. Maybe that'll give them perspective, but it's the same thing. Certainly, I think praising God should not be contingent on our successes, our failures, because we didn't create ourselves. We didn't create ourselves. So we should praise God for creating us. Even if you feel like your life is horrible, we should thank God for either way. And certainly, and remember, prayer is done to not change God's will, but to change us, to make us practice more humility and more compassion, make us better people. That being said, if you are having success with weight loss and weight maintenance, be grateful. Thank God for that. Be fearful that you might gain it back. That is quite normal, but be grateful. Be grateful for the self-control, self-discipline, the forbearance, all these things that you've done, the discipline, the exercise, the perseverance to lose the weight, keep it off, and all these things. And give gratitude for that. But I think the point is, even if you are having difficulty losing weight, or, this doesn't have to be about weight loss. It could be about your job. It could be about relationships in your life. Even if you're having difficulty, always have gratitude. Because the opposite sentiments of ingratitude, jealousy, greed, envy, anger are poisons that only we concoct, that only we drink. And having envy and jealousy and self-hatred, and we've talked about this on past episodes, doesn't really help you vis-a-vis your weight loss and maintenance, or really any part of your life. So why indulge in something that isn't going to help you? Let's look at the fruits of the Holy Spirit. It's mentioned in Galatians 5. Kindness, generosity, patience. These are things that if we have more of, our life will just be better. So when it comes to weight loss and weight maintenance, be grateful. Even if you haven't lost weight, grateful that you have the basic stuff, the low-level Maslow's hierarchy of needs stuff. Look, maybe some of you are wealthy, so you don't have to worry about being on the streets. Yes, you might be overweight. Yes, you might be dealing with sadness regarding that and loneliness. but it could be worse, right? Things can always be worse. And I think with a good level of gratitude, we always remember that. It always gives us a good perspective that things can always be worse. And if you look again, making this episode very religious, look at the example of Job. I mean, Job was told in one fell swoop, he lost all his land, he lost all of his children, he loses all of his livestock, which essentially is his wealth, but he never forsakes God. And then at the end, he gets everything back multiple fold. So I'm not telling you to praise God out of fear of God, and I'm not telling you to praise God because God's going to necessarily reward you by losing the weight. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he's not going to do that. I'm just saying to have gratitude, daily gratitude. And if you're not religious, that's fine. It doesn't have to be connected to God. But just sit down for a minute every day and just be grateful for what you have. And when you have a surplus of gratitude in your life and making it less about you and more about whether it be God or your family or children or the less fortunate, it just makes us better people. It gives us perspective and it humbles us. And I think ultimately gives us more peace of mind, regardless of where you're at your weight loss struggles. Guys, post in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Do you struggle with gratitude? Do you have a lot of ingratitude, or do you have a lot of gratitude? I'd love to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care, God bless, and pray.